Families in Central Florida are sleeping soundly thanks to a bed-building nonprofit. You're listening to The Wrap from Central Florida Public Media. I'm Brendan Byrne. Some families in need in Central Florida are receiving beds thanks to the hard work and collaboration of volunteers with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, a nonprofit organization. The group estimates about 3% of American children do not have beds. The nonprofit believes that sleep without a bed causes both physical and emotional stress on a child. It wants to end that.
So to be able to bring a bed to a child, sometimes the very first bed that child's ever had or the first space that they can call their own, is huge.
This week, for our Sounds of Central Florida series, a partnership between Central Florida Public Media and UCF's Nicholson School of Communication and Media, a look at this effort to build and deliver a good night's sleep. That's ahead on The Wrap, the big stories this week from Central Florida Public Media. But first, these headlines. Governor Ron DeSantis will sign a bill that officially bans fluoride from Florida's public water systems. Central Florida Public Media's Luis Alfredo Garcia has more.
Some cities throughout Central Florida, like Winter Haven and Melbourne, have already voted to remove fluoride from city water systems, but critics of the move point to positive dental health benefits. Governor DeSantis says that while he can't deny fluoride's dental benefits, he does think Floridians should have the freedom to choose how much they're exposed to.
We have other ways where people can get access to fluoride. When you do this in the water supply, you're taking away a choice of someone who may not want to have overexposure to fluoride.
Florida Department of Health Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo joined the governor in the announcement, and the pair called the decision a way to provide Floridians with more medical freedom. The governor also signed a bill to ban weather modification. Luis Alfredo Garcia, Central Florida Public Media.
Orange County is one step closer to a growth planning overhaul. As Central Florida Public Media's Molly Durig reports, county commissioners heard from staff members and the public this week about changes expected from a new Orange Code.
If the new Orange Code is approved by commissioners next month, it'll be Orange County's first time adopting a new zoning code in 68 years. The original code from 1957 created 11 different zoning districts separated by use, like residential, commercial, and industrial. But today, the county has 30 zoning districts, after decades of incremental changes which zoning manager Jennifer Moreau says led to lots of inconsistencies and delayed development reviews. Moreau says that's because up until now, those zoning changes happened without corresponding updates to the county's long-term comprehensive plan.
This is the first true major overhaul of both at the same time, with both going hand in hand together.
The county says Vision 2050 is like the destination, more sustainable growth. Orange Code is like the roadmap to getting there. County commissioners are expected to approve both at a final hearing next month. Molly Durig, Central Florida Public Media.
Officials with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission say an alligator attack this week that claimed the life of a Davenport woman was most likely a reaction from the animal rather than a predatory incident. Central Florida Public Media's Marion Summerall reports 2 alligators over 10 feet long have been captured in the investigation near the incident location on Lake Kissimmee.
The 61-year-old woman and her husband accidentally passed over the alligator in shallow water. The husband told officials that caused the animal to thrash, tipping them into the water. The FWC says the canoe most likely scared the animal, and the alligator was defending itself when the woman fell onto the alligator and was attacked. While attacks are rare, the agency advises that people keep a safe distance from alligators and report any concerns to the nuisance alligator hotline.
That was Central Florida Public Media's Marion Summerall reporting. These stories and more on our website. Visit cfpublic.org. Support for The Wrap comes from listeners just like you. It's our spring fund drive, and we're asking you to make a gift of support for the programs you count on each week, like The Wrap. Make a sustaining gift of support for this podcast by calling 1-800-785-2020 or visiting cfpublic.org. While there, check out all the great thank you gifts like tote bag, socks, or stickers to show your support for this public media organization. Central Florida children are curling up into the warmth of their brand new beds thanks to Sleep in Heavenly Peace, a nonprofit aimed at combating child bedlessness. Building and delivering the beds is a labor of love for the volunteers that make it all possible. For our Sounds of Central Florida series, a partnership between Central Florida Public Media and UCF's Nicholson School of Communication and Media, student journalists Orion Boone and Jordan Evans have this story.
I'm Bill Carlton, and I'm the founding president of the Orlando West chapter of Sleep in Heavenly Peace. We are a nonprofit 501c3 charity, and our mission is simple. It's that no kid sleeps on the floor in our town. And the way we pursue that mission is we gather the community together to build and deliver beds for children who don't have a bed. We'll start with a stack of lumber down at the beginning of the build line. We move it through various stages of processing. So we'll mark it, we'll cut it, we'll mark where the holes need to be drilled, then we'll drill them. Then we'll sand it. Sanding's a big job because the beds need to be safe for kids. After sanding, we'll bring it down and we'll assemble them into headboards and side rails, safety rails for a top bunk, and also kits of slats so that when we assemble the bed in the home of the child, we have a place to put the mattress, sheets, comforters, and pillows that we bring. On an event like today's event, we're going to gather probably about 50 volunteers, maybe 60 together, and we'll build 25 beds.
All right, my name is Jeanette Maldonado. I actually brought my two older boys. They're here with me, Gabriel and Pablo. They are 15 and 13. There's a lot of people that do a lot more out there, so it's good to be able to do a little bit. And also with me being able to bring my teenage boys here today, it kind of instills that of getting them to volunteer and being aware that there's other people out there with needs and we can help.
I am Brittany McNeil. I am 34, soon to be 34 years old. I'm a mom of 6. I am a certified nursing assistant, and I'm going to start school soon to be a licensed practical nurse. There is a web page on Facebook actually called Loving Hearts. A couple months ago I saw somebody post about it and I applied as soon as I could. I have a lot of kids, so trying to get everybody a bed is next to impossible. Aubrey is my 8-year-old. She would sleep in with me and Dad because she was just attached to us. The baby would sleep in the room with us. And then the older ones, my oldest, she has her own bed, but the other 3 would just sleep on the couches.
It's kind of a huge change. You didn't have a great night's sleep and maybe a little cranky or tired and emotionally not where you want to be. Imagine a kid doing that every day, and then having to go to school and face the pressures of school and the peer group pressure and the social pressure and all that.
We have Adriana. She's my gentle giant. She's my Amazon child. Very, very tall like her mom. Because she's so tall, the recliners were a little bit much. So any chance, because I work overnights, if I wasn't working, she would sleep in my bed.
So to be able to bring a bed to a child, sometimes the very first bed that child's ever had or the first space that they can call their own, is huge.
They don't want to leave their beds now. I have to repeatedly tell them, listen, beds are for nighttime and sleeping. You don't need to be in there. But they want to be in there on their phones, watching TV. And you know what? I give it to them because they haven't had them. This place has given us a lot, even though, it's just a lot for my kids.
That story was produced by UCF Nicholson School of Communication and Media student journalists Orion Boone and Jordan Evans. Hear more Sounds of Central Florida stories on our website, cfpublic.org. That's it for The Wrap this week. This podcast is produced by Central Florida Public Media with assistance from News Director Latoya Dennis and Digital Director Ryan Ellison. I'm Brendan Byrne. This is The Wrap.